and war can no longer be confined.
Not only
the more often you can confine yourself to a simple yes or no.
Confined to mighty monarchies.
Has the army been confined to
Beyond
barracks?
the confines that limit the outlaw as an individual criminal.
Mr. Ralston, you turn away from that panel once more, I'll confine you to quarters.
Dispense with side remarks and confine himself
Which
to
there are
facts.
many confines, wards, and dungeons, Denmark being one of the worst.
He was confined to a Park Avenue penthouse and
Dark days ahead, and war can no longer be confined to the battlefield. But we can...
If my colleague from the state of Georgia could confine his comments not only to appropriate business at hand,
Senator
but do me the goodness to observe some of the basic...
I will therefore make my questions as brief as I hope you will make your answers, and the more often you can confine yourself to a simple yes or no, the better.
Well, don't waste time yammering. Begin.
Your full name is...
Within the girdle of these walls are now confined two mighty monarchies, whose high, upreared, and above...
Come this way.
Why has the army been confined to barracks?
The decision was mine, supported by Comrade Malenkov.
100,000. That is the point. Beyond the confines that limit the outlaw as an individual criminal. Violence by masses of men is called history.
Mr. Ralston, you turn away from that panel once more, I'll confine you to quarters.
Aye, sir. Your Honor, this is becoming farcical. I demand that Mr. Deeds dispense with side remarks and confine himself to facts. Let him explain his wanderings around the street in his underclothes.
Then it's the world one.
A goodly one, in which there are many confines, wards, and dungeons, Denmark being one of the worst.
We think not so, my lord.
Why, then, 'tis none to you.
the last 12 years.
Does she know his story?
He told her he was confined to a Park Avenue penthouse and had osteogenesis imperfecta.
Confining a horse to a stall or a small paddock inhibits...
You're twisting my words. You haven't listened to what I've said.
The witness will confine herself to answer as to the facts.
Madame Grandfort, let me repeat your answer to...
So, is limited war possible? Can we confine the exchange of nuclear weapons to military targets alone, or must war...
Earth. I?
Then my little girl never feels lonely or confined?
I don't know. I have you and Robbie and all my...
Glory for Rome. An extension of the empire, confining a revolution to that mountain. My name.
How do we know when that will be?
How about confine these men below and station an armed man at each hatch.
Aye, sir. Come on, get moving.
Who will you be shot?
Run.
Now, ridiculous or not, I shall have to ask you to confine yourself to your cabin, the deck, and the salon.
Kingdom is enchanting.
I hope the princess will not find our little kingdom too confining.
Untouched. Their politics are confined to bread and salt. Illiterate, they...
It is going to be on record. I know that. Confine Garrick to quarters until I can explain all this to the general. Yes, sir.
Martin Harris with just a few guests in a confined space with Prince Shadow.
Guess where I am?
I don't know.
I'm in the cozy confines of an Oldsmobile parked right outside Simone's house.
Oh. You might have seen it on the way in over by the elevators. I would show you, but I'm sort of confined to this desk.
Do you share?
I didn't have a mutiny on my hands.
You see, I'm rather understanding of mutinies. Men pressed from their homes, their chosen occupations, confined for months aboard a wooden prison.
Stephen, I profoundly respect your right to disagree with me.
Free. Free to go anywhere you like within the confines of the International Transit Lounge. Okay?
Okay.
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 I want to see you later. You're confined to the base. I won't forget this.
I don't think the Air Force is going to forget about this.
Don't be
France. Turkey. Turkey has a self and China has an emperor.
I confine myself to the possible.
That's where you and I differ, Walsingham.
It feels a little confined in here. Let's take a walk.
to you.
Obviously, Scarabus's powers of magic are not confined within the walls of his castle. That's right.
Upon each of you. It's the sentence of the court that you be confined to the workhouse for 30 days or pay a fine of $50.
For the full weight of the law and not 1 day less. You will be confined without a chance of parole for a period of not less than 8 years.
This is not a psychiatrist.
Objection sustained. Mr. Stamphill, you will confine your questions to areas of Mr. Glenn's expertise.
Very well, Mr. Glenn's expertise. Mr. Glenn, have you ever...
Situation to arise.
Oh, I do agree, sir.
After all, it's not as if my activities were confined to toys. I was in charge of the officer's kit.
Yes, and garden ornaments.
I know, but it's the officer's kit.
Mr. Thompson, you will be required to leave this room at 4:30 promptly. You will confine yourself, it is our understanding, to the chapters in Mr. Thatcher's manuscript regarding Mr. Kane.
Well, then your mother met her. Could I talk to your mother?
No, as I told you, she's confined.
Yes, but just for a few minutes, that's all. There might be some hint that you missed out.
Be all right with you?
I've got a roommate who will be confined to the living room couch.
Oh. What's wrong with the living room couch?
Detail, should you decide to disobey this order, you'll consider yourself confined to barracks pending a court-martial. Stop!
And were you subsequently treated for a nervous breakdown and confined to the Rockville State Mental Facility? Yes. And that was because you were mentally...
Especially conscious at this moment that beauty is not confined to any one race.
Yes, but at a terrible price, and I...
Please confine yourself to answering the questions only. Therefore, was it not possible that a judge might